Welcome to Write That Down, a Pro Beatus podcast. I'm Matt Fisher. Across from me is Mark Jensen.
Yo.
And to my left is... Oh, to my right is Phil Irwin.
I'm over here.
Phil used to sit right here. And as we know, my skills at the computer are legendary. And Phil's now sitting here. So if we might want to name this person today because that person will be here. But to my right is Phil Irwin.
Hello.
Hi. And across from me is Mark Jensen, which is the same button, but now I'm all disjointed. So
why am I over here today, Matt?
Because we heard, and then like the bulb above your head went out. Was that a good sound effect?
I don't know if people know this, but like we're recording in a professional podcasting studio.
Yes.
And so there's all sorts of fun stuff like green screens, lights, microphone. There's even microphones here.
You can even see the microphones in front of our
You
face.
can.
And there's headphones that are on our ears.
But right before I was about to sit here today, I thought I was going to die. There was a crazy noise above my head. And luckily, before I sat down, I identified that it was a crazy noise and no fire started. But that light just decided it was done. And so now I'm over here, your right-hand man today instead. And it feels good.
Good. I found that this is my button now, and this is Mark.
Right.
And hi, Mark.
I'm not moving.
No, Mark's not moving. Just the buttons are moving, and those aren't even moving. It's me. There I am. Okay. Welcome to Write That Down. I've already said that. Let's start like we always do with some generalities and how are things? How are things going today? Anybody?
Well, right now I'm kind of feeling a little bit excluded or down, really
Why?
down. Well, just look around the room with a 3. Once again, I didn't get the memo. You two are wearing matching colors.
Oh, not today.
Oh,
Thanks
I
a lot,
didn't
guys.
Look at
Obviously,
that.
I maybe should just leave. Do you even need me here anymore?
Mark, we want you.
Because the thing of it is,
Phil,
this
we
happened
want
last
him
time.
here.
You had the exact same shirts. This time you're color coordinating. I'm beginning to think you guys are calling each other in the morning.
who makes your shirt, Matt?
I didn't even notice this time. This is a BAW shirt. This is the PC
It's a BA
176.
So mine is not BAW.
And yours is what?
It's the Bella Canvas.
Bella Canvas.
Like 3904. I can't
No,
remember.
what's yours? What's yours, Mark?
Mine's a Bella Canvas, but
So
you know what? I'm not in the
now-
same color scheme. That's the point,
No,
boys. Look at that.
I'm kind of feeling left out because you're both wearing Bella Canvas and I'm wearing BAW.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, can we? I'm sorry. Maybe Mark wasn't done.
He was ready to
No.
go. Like
I tell you.
he went like this.
Yeah,
with his
I'm just
head,
still
like,
kind of trying. Yeah, I thot maybe it was me. Maybe you're kind of replacing me since it's the end.
But who? Oh, we did. Did we replace him today?
This is the last episode of this season,
look,
right?
Look at this. We did replace him.
With
Mark Jensen, we didn't replace you with a blank chair. And,
Well, it'd be nice if I'd get the memo.
okay, well, next time. Okay, Phil, you were about to say this is the last episode
It
of the
is,
season.
yep.
So I think next time we really need to focus on color coordinating, brand coordinating, potentially exact shirt coordinating in order for us to be cohesive, because it sounds like we're getting to a point as like a collective group here where there's some disagreement and maybe a little bit of fracturing, and I don't want that, Mark.
it's kind of like, so I'm a musician, and
You've mentioned that.
there's some arguments for and against like a uniform, right? You hear this with schools, but like in bands, like there was a time where the Beatles dressed alike. Remember that? Do you remember
no,
that?
I don't remember that.
But like,
Um,
it looks cool. It's classy. It's coordinated. Everybody's like, that's the Beatles. That's the look. And all of a sudden they started diverging, usually after drugs, but like stuff started changing. And then now they're not coordinating. And the argument could be made, oh, that's them ability to express their individuality. But is there now a fracture within the group? And then they eventually broke up. So I don't know. Maybe a uniform and coordination is what we need to make sure that we're more on the same page with each other.
Or it could be just kind of going off from like last week. You know what? Maybe I dare to be different.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
you two guys got to get out of your comfort zone. You guys don't need to be one another. It's okay.
It's true.
Matt, you can be Matt Fisher. Phil, you can be Phil Irwin. You don't need to be Matt, Phil, Irwin Fisher.
Oh, geez.
You're right, because when I know we're recording, I like look in my closet and I'm like, okay, I need Probetus logo, and I have like 3 shirts I've been rotating.
And for me, I didn't even register that we even had a similar look today. So there's that deep-seated subconsciousness that Phil and I have going on that we don't even know about. There's Mark, who is feeling left out and kind of, we'll just say a little upset about it. And then Phil, who just really talked about the Beatles and really brought us to a point where now I'm thinking Yoko Ono, and it's all going to come crashing down, and there's going to be one left.
Will there be a season 3? Like, that's the cliffhanger we can leave people with today.
Let's leave that for the end, because will there be a season 3? I mean, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is the last episode of season 2. Like I mentioned earlier, we had 3 episodes in season 1. We doubled that in season 2, up to 6. So, other than that, catching up, everything else. But I kind of want to throw some topics out there before we get to write that down today, just to find out where everybody is at some things. So you don't know about these topics yet. The first topic is the grass. That's what I'm going to talk about in Grand Forks, North Dakota, is the grass. As I was leaving for lunch, Mark and Savannah were outside taking a look at the grass in our yard. I noticed it in my yard. We see it all over town. Well, Mark, I'm going to start with you here. What's your feeling about the grass right now?
Dead. We are in dire need of moisture.
Yes.
It's kind of sad, though, when you look at it. I even noticed it back like in the first week of July. We haven't not had a lot of rain, obviously, and we can see that. And just even back then, seeing the yards already turning, it's sad. It's depressing.
It is.
On many levels. Not the fact is, we're now on the downswing of summer, but more importantly, we haven't got any rain, and we need that rain.
Yes, I concur. Sorry, I just jumped in there and concurred. Maybe I don't concur. I want to find out what Phil has to say. So, Mark, dead.
Yeah. Is it my turn now?
Yes, go.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement. Like, there's dead grass everywhere. So earlier in the year, like, because we didn't have a lot of snow, like we had a great winter. My backyard, I've got a lot of traffic in the backyard. So kids are always on bikes, running around, that sort of thing. So half of it was dead anyway. And I made a goal for myself to try to replant all the bald spots that were there and try to get the grass ready by the time we were having this like birthday party for one of my kids. And so I was out there watering. It was seriously, a couple times a day for over a month. And I finally got the grass to take, and I was super excited, but I found that now I'm getting super lax and I'm about to lose all the progress that I did make. But another side note, in my neighborhood, I go on a lot of walks, and it's so funny because everybody's lawn looks just as bad as mine. So I was feeling okay about myself. It's like, hey,
because the drought, if we're going to use
dry.
the D word, is like,
and then
here it's real.
And then I walk past this
everybody.
Other lawn, and should we do like a name drop? Like there was one of those stakes. Okay, I won't.
Maybe
there's one of those stakes in the yard from one of these.
I'm kind of concerned about name drops ever since our episode where we were doing all those sponsorships that weren't really sponsorships. But
you're right,
because we didn't see any.
I don't think we're working with these guys yet, so I won't promote them. But stake in the yards, advertising this local lawn care guy, and the grass was perfect. It was like that thick grass mat. It was like turf.
Wow.
And I could tell instantly this person was retired.
Because
they have time to be out there all the time taking care of it.
Right. That's a good point.
That's my my overgeneralization. It's like they don't have a day job.
Yeah. So some grass, we've got Mark dead. Phil, we had a good start to the year, but then lackadaisicality, because that's a word, and Phil's working during the day has caused him not to be able to get the grass. And I kind of like just hearing your guys' points of view. So I'm number 2. I'll go. Number 2 will be to both of you again. Then I'll take number 3, and then I'll let you guys fill in on number 3. Okay. Number 2, smoke. Phil, go.
There's a lot of smoke in the air, and it is causing my children to have allergies. And one of my sons just sniffs all the time.
because he's
And that's
sad.
all I hear down the hallway. And I've said, "Can you stop that?" He's like, "No." And he sniffs until he literally falls asleep. And I'm over it. I want the smoke to be gone.
Okay, thank you. Mark?
Yeah, that's what I'm just hearing too. A lot of people fighting allergies and just, we're in a doom and gloom. Like I said, we're not getting rain and we have forest fires all around us. And it's not a good situation to be in, actually, And I just think I feel for all those people out there who have trouble breathing and all that. If I'm struggling, I can't imagine those people who have health conditions that are affected with their breathing normally, So I think we're just in a sad and scary time right now between no rain and then forest fires that kind of all work hand in hand.
Yes, I agree. So now I've taken us to a dark place. That was on me. I did that. So I'm going to try to bring us out of that. And this is going to be information that no adult man should probably talk about, but I'm going to do it anyways. And it's called Bang, the power drink.
Oh,
Have you heard of Bang before?
you just called it a power drink?
Well, it
Isn't it called an energy
it
drink?
gives me power. So I'm calling it a power drink or a miracle blend.
That's like when
or
your dad is
whatever you
like,
would-
"Hey, are you guys going on that internet thing?" Like you just called it a power drink. That's
Right.
not what it's called.
Well, it is to me because I'm
Okay.
a dad. And Mark, have you ever heard of this drink before?
I have heard of it,
Okay.
but I did not take it. I've never tried it.
See, Mark's gonna take it. I'm gonna call it a power drink. And
Yeah.
Phil's hip, and he's like, "You're talking about one of them energy drinks."
No, I've never tried it either. But like their advertisements are definitely female focused, and it's weird.
Oh,
Like Instagram. So I'm on the gram, right? And all these people that are like, "Hey, I'm a life coach and a fitness coach." So they advertise for the energy drink. And last I checked, no energy drink is actually good for you. So you should probably not take fitness advice from someone pushing for this.
okay. So the power drink. Can I call it a power drink?
Go for it.
Okay. So this energy drink, power drink thing, like I coach high school kids, and I think they have contests with it. They're like, I drank 3 bangs today, and I would hear this at practice this year, and be like, "What's a bang?" And they like wouldn't tell me, and they'd whisper about it, like, "Oh, you heard us. We said the bang word," and then I was getting down to the golf tournament in Crookston for their team backers golf tournament, and I went to the gas station, and I'm like, I want a power drink because I wanted power because I needed that 20-minute ride back to Grand Forks. And I walked in there and I'm looking at, we've all been to a convenience store and the plethora of pops and waters and fancy concoctions and potions. And this young lady came up next to me and I said, "I've heard of this drink." And when I was coaching, it's like, these kids are all drinking it. It's like got no carbs, but it's got all this, gives you power. And she's like, "You're talking about Bang, man." And I'm like, "Bang, you say?" "Yeah, my favorites." And she didn't have a low voice.
This
like, because she was
conversation never
younger, she was like,
happened.
"It did happen. I'm not making this up. This happened." So I'm looking in, and she's like, the cherry limeade or lemonade or whatever is the best. And I'm like, okay. And it was like 2 for $4. So you know how they do that trick, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get 2, but she was so kind. I'm like, I'm gonna buy you one. So I got her one, and she picked one as well. So I bought this Bang. Drinking and driving my Bang drink, and I'm like, finally getting like to past Fisher. I'm like, wow, this stuff works. I got some power. I get back to Grand Forks, and it's like, all right, it's Friday night, it's go time because Coach Fisher finally drank a Bang. And that's where the story ends.
So
No, it doesn't. My stories never end. They go on forever. So now I'm addicted to Bang. Okay, that's where the story ends. I'm like, "Hey, honey, I'm kind of tired. I'll have my afternoon coffee. I'm gonna go get a Bang," and it has gotten so far right now where I get a picture from my wife from Sam's Club, and she sends me a picture of a case of Bang, and she's like, "I'm getting this for you. You have a problem, but we need to conquer it together." So now I have a case of Bang at my house from Sam's Club.
I just don't think that conversation happened. And if it did, why are you buying energy drinks for strangers? It's just weird.
Well, because strangers like it's not like we're 2 adult people. We're next to each other at a convenience store. Like, it was 2 for $4. She helped me. I was like,
It's called paid forward.
Paid
And maybe she did. Haven't you heard about that on the other coffee lines? You're in line and somebody buys your coffee, or
Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
it's being a kind person. That's what we need more in our world is kindness.
That's funny that you say that, because I was listening to something on the radio today. And I was talking. Somebody wrote a book about kindness, and it's like, if we could all be more kind, the world would be a much different place.
What a great idea for a new book. Nobody's ever had a book like that before.
Phil.
Remember the Beatles? John Lennon. He thought that could happen.
The Beatles again. What did you have a bang before
No,
you
I
came
didn't.
here?
Man, I guess I have to try one now.
I mean, okay. Now I'm going to tell you, this is legit. This is the rest of the story, the Paul Harvey rest of the story. You ready for this? 3 days ago, I'm sitting there, and you know how we always get to, not we always, like this happens to everybody on planet Earth, but sometimes you get a text message that's just random, and it's like an ad or a spam. You guys get those, right?
Yes. Text
Yeah.
no to stop.
Yeah, okay, yeah, those ones. So I get one. If you're interested on putting a sticker on your car or bike to advertise Bang, please let us know. Text back. $500 a week.
Wow.
I'm going to show you that text after this, and it's going to be proof. And then you can go make a comment on the YouTube page and say, Matt Fisher was not lying. So I feel as though either my Bang habit is really bad or my phone was listening to me.
Or
Combination of both.
you could try to sell the Bang Corporation stickers at a better price through Probetus. Try that. And then put it on your bike.
And I'm just thinking all of a sudden, like you're saying, Bang. All that sugar, it's all full of sugar. Maybe it's back from when we were kids and we drank Tang. Remember Tang?
I do remember that, and that probably was sugar. Now, I didn't want this whole episode to be about Bang, unless I'm gonna get like video messages now from Bang, like, "Oh, you guys."
Second, I have a question for Mark.
Okay.
Isn't that the same stuff they used to put in the big McDonald's like coolers? So they'd like sponsor a basketball game or something, and so they bring that yellow like drink cooler, and it would have the bright orange drink in it. I think that was Tang.
Could have been Tang. I'm not too
Are
sure.
you talking about Gatorade?
No. I know what Gatorade is.
No, but
I'm
like you
talking
say,
about
big orange container.
McDonald's would sponsor events, and they would donate this drink, and it was always an orange drink, and I think it was Tang.
It was the best.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I was like, "This is a magic drink. This is like," because your parents can't replicate it. You can't find it at the store. So, Mark Jensen, were you a Tang drinker?
Yes, we had Tang. And then you know what? Sometimes the neighbor down the street, she made Russian tea with it.
Yes.
Tang, and it was like iced tea.
I heard of that from Grandma Beth. Had
Yep.
the Russian tea.
We'd have the Russian tea, and we'd go down to her place, and she had the glass jar, and it had like the orange Tang lid, and
Did they
she'd
put
take
like
that out, and
cloves in it and stuff like that? Or I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think it had like iced tea, and then it didn't have like Tang and like cinnamon.
It had a spice to it.
Okay.
It was like clovey, I guess, if you will. But I mean, yeah, it was Russian.
Yeah, we called it Russian
Yeah,
tea.
that's what I heard it as too, is Russian tea, and the main ingredient is Tang.
Correct.
So, this will be the last thing I say about Bang. You say sugar. It's definitely not sugar. I looked on the back of it. It's sucralose, which I think is better than
sucralose.
aspartame.
That's
But
Splenda.
yeah, but I mean, it's still probably not good for you.
I don't know. I've been watching you right now, and it seems like you have a few twitches. So I wonder if you're like have too much in you. You kind of feel like you're twitching. And
Do you think so?
did you have a bang today?
I didn't. I haven't yet.
Maybe you're going through withdrawals.
You think it happens that fast?
It could.
Oh boy. Now the hypochondria is
What's-
working. All right.
What's our quote for the week?
That's a good transition because I think I need to take a breath. So in most of our episodes done now, but we should get to write that down since that is what this show is called. At some point in the last year and a half, I said this: go to prayer first. That's all we can do to really find peace. And then I said, write that down. And then Phil wrote it down. Do you know when and why and how and where I may have even said that?
No, this one it's a lot more heady. You have to really think about it. Philosophical, I guess, is a good way to put it. And so my guess is that it was not work related, because occasionally I'll come in and like life is happening and there's no one else in the office. And all of a sudden Matt comes out of his office and I'm like at the coffee pot and he just looks approachable. And I'm like, now's my chance to like tell him what happened to me yesterday, and I'm upset about it. So I think it was one of those situations. It's probably just a normal life situation. And you could tell I needed to calm down. And you're like, go to prayer first. That's all you can do to find peace. And I probably went, oh, well, that's a lot more responsible and adult way to handle our problems. A good idea. And so I went into my office, and I'm sure I sat down and prayed about it. So that's my best guess, but I don't remember specifically what it was.
That's a good guess. And before we dig into it a little bit, I want to ask Mark a question. But this is going to be a question. No, it's more of just an ask. If I ever look approachable again, will you let me know? Because that's not a goal of mine. I don't want to be approachable. I want to have my earbuds in. I want to be, deep into work. I want to be, this man is busy. Don't bother him with such things. So can you look out for me?
Oh, definitely. Since I'm the visual person, obviously, and I notice that you guys are matching in clothing again, I will be your eyes.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize to you, Phil, for being approachable that day.
Yeah, thank you. I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. All right, so this is heady, this is deep, this is serious, and before I throw it out to you guys, I'll kind of start with myself in probably what I meant when it comes to this, but I feel like the world can get crazy and it spins out of control sometimes, and nobody's immune to that on this planet. And I feel like I need to have like a start of the day like that. So I call it my CEO time. I think one of my business partners, Gary, came up with that when I was probably unapproachable and he tried to ask me something. But the reality is every day I come to work and I shut the door and I have a daily devotional that I do. I read a little bit out of the Bible. I say some prayers, and then I go to my computer. So I go there first, and then from there, the day happens. And then sometimes I go home at lunch, and it was kind of a crazy morning, and I do what's called an alpha, and I'll close my eyes for 15 minutes, and I'll just lay there and think and pray and not think and subconsciously go away, not go to sleep, but just kind of go to peace, go to quiet. So I feel like if and when I can do that in a day, my day goes pretty good because I can set myself and get myself to a point where I'm not thinking that I'm in control of anything, because the reality is I don't think I am. So that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to kind of a daily sort of thing, but I'll throw it out to you guys. And this is, like I said, a heady thing. So if you want to not share and say pass, please do so. But do either of you guys have an instance or something you do where like you feel like when the world's going crazy, or you feel like everything's insane, that you can just find peace, and it's something that you do to do that? Like I said, for me, it's prayer, but what about what you guys? Either of you? Oh, Mark, okay.
I was at peace. I was sleeping.
Okay.
He records podcasts.
Oh, go, Mark. Do you feel like there's something that you can do or do on a regular basis, or?
Well, yeah, there's probably times like I more so like sometimes just will like to just go and have like quiet time. And I won't like have my TV on or anything, and just kind of sit like with no lights on and just kind of chill.
Sure. Do you feel like that's something you do like at home usually? Do you find time to do that at work even?
No, I guess probably more so like at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's more at home.
Gotcha. Phil, how about you?
My home is always loud. It's insane. I feel like I always try to find a time to relax or to refocus, or like I'll call it like a reset. Like you're starting your day that way in your example, but I try to find these resets. But I think what typically happens is I'm a list maker, so I'll have like a actual list written down of all these things that I have to get to, and usually stress level increases. And then I create this mental list, which is additional details outside of what I've written down. And it's super easy to spin yourself right up, and you all of a sudden get that kind of crippling, like I can't do anything because there's too much. Like you almost don't know where to begin. And and that might have even been the situation when I was talking to you that when we got this quote. But I do feel like I need a reset. So in the office, a lot of time, like you've probably heard me say this, Mark, but like I'll take a lap. I like have to leave my office, and so I'll just like be standing, walk past somebody's door, but I'm actually going someplace. Like I'll walk back by the copy machine, I'll go around, and usually in that time, I'm taking a lap. I'm thinking about whatever it is I need to process, but I have to be moving to do it. And usually I'm also like walking, talking, praying all at the same time, because it's like I need something that's not at my desk, not in front of the computer, and I can't even be in I can't be in view of like that list, and that's super helpful. But I feel like I more often need reminders to take a break or reset than sometimes even comes naturally.
Sure. No, I appreciate you sharing that. Do you feel like that, Mark, sometimes at work where you're in front of the computer for 2.5 straight hours and you look up at the time and it's like, wow, it's been 2.5 hours and you just need that break?
Oh yeah, there's definitely times like that, and sometimes you just get up and move, or it can be as simple as sometimes just go in your car, drive around the block, just to reset and come back.
Right. Yeah.
I like doing that too, where like Mark and I a lot of times will do like deliveries, or we have a delivery driver that sometimes drops stuff off with clients. But I personally enjoy like grabbing the stuff, doing it myself, because it gives you like that purposeful break. Like you're still doing work, you're getting the job done, you're networking, whatever you want to call it. But it allows you to reset from whatever situation you were just in and then return. And I feel like I'm always more fresh, when I'm doing that too. But
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing that. I appreciate it. Before we end the show here, I will kind of go back to that question we asked about season 3. Truthfully, we had a major negotiation.
there was a real meeting.
There was a meeting called. It was pretty intense. It was outside. I mean, I think it's good it was outside because it allowed the yelling to kind of dispense a little bit.
I remember seeing the grass while we were sitting outside and noticing that it was dead. Do you remember that?
So we had a negotiation, and we negotiated to. Mark, are we coming back?
I think we should leave them with a cliffhanger.
Do you? Phil, should we let him know?
I don't know. Like, I'm not even getting paid.
He's not getting paid.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
No,
No.
I'm not getting paid.
Nope.
So in this negotiation, obviously Phil was upset because of the pay. So I'm just going to say it this way. Mark and I will be back next year. We'll be back for season 3, paid. Phil, we decided to invite you back.
Oh.
It is unpaid, but
Yeah, you know what? On topic still, like I'll probably still come even though it's unpaid, because it'll get me out of the office. It'll let me reset so I can truly find peace.
okay.
Thank you.
Mark, that was like a close call. I didn't know how it was going to go with Phil, but it's, especially with this, like, could have gone anyway, but
Yeah.
he'll be back. We'll be back. We're going to take a little break, though. We're going to reset ourselves, and we will be back looking at potentially October. And we've signed on the dotted line, I believe, for 9 episodes. So we'll be back with some more chit chat, some more quotes, some more talk, and some more good times.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Any more final thoughts, anybody?
Bang.
You got it. You got it, Mark Johnson. All right, everybody. See you next time. Remember, if you need your swag, probeatuspromo.com.